All right, I'm excited to be here. We are in a planetarium in Argentina. How cool is this? Woo! Yeah, very exciting. All right, so buckle your seatbelts because we are going on a ride into the future of tomorrow's financial revolution. We are talking about data, payments, and agents today. But first, why Agenode? Who are we? Why should you listen to me? I'm Rodrigo. I'm CEO of Agenode. I was the first employee back in 2018 after the original founders. And for those of you that aren't familiar, the graph is an indexing and querying protocol for getting data off of blockchains. And we were the creators of subgraphs, which has become a standard. Our infrastructure over the years have served trillions of queries, that's with a T, and subgraphs were the initial standard that's been utilized as the way that people get data off of blockchains. And our infrastructure and open source code that we maintain has been downloaded millions of times by developers worldwide. We're also the founders of the House of Web3, which is a co-creation space in the heart of San Francisco's Presidio. It's a beautiful space where builders from around the world come together to solve some of the world's most challenging problems. So if you're ever in San Francisco, please come as my guest, and we'll welcome you with open arms. It has beautiful views of the Golden Gate Bridge. We'd love to have you there. So can the devs do something? We've gotten a lot of heat over the years as to what we've been up to. People have been asking, what's coming? Well, I'm telling you, we weren't over, and we've been quietly building what comes next. And I'm here to say we are so back. So we're going to be talking today about AMP, the first blockchain native database, and Ampersend, which is a wallet for agents and a dashboard for humans. So along the way, we've been gathering user feedback, listening, hearing to our users. We've been running this for 7 years, so we've had a lot of time to hear what people have been using our tools for. And along the way, we've identified some challenges and opportunities in the blockchain data and infrastructure space. But first, have you ever given the thought that literally everything we do it boils down to data. So every interface that we utilize, you're scrolling through X, through Instagram, social media, it's essentially a user interface on top of a database. Everything we do, at the end of the day, data is sitting in a database somewhere. And Excel, for example, is a database skin on top of a database, right? Columns, rows, and then everything else is just like a more beautiful kind of skin, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to databases. And so we looked at the on-chain problem, and after all the experience we have, and blockchains were designed for writing to them. So they were implemented to solve particular problems. We all kind of understand that they were for consensus, for immutability, and so there were trade-offs with that. And the analogy I like to give is that imagine like in an old school kind of book or a ledger, and you're writing in the book the transactions, and then you're turning the page for each block. But imagine the book was closed, and so you couldn't read what was going on in the book. And so they struggle at reads. And if you were to purchase a database today like PostgreSQL, it ships with the ability to query it and read it. But blockchains don't ship natively with that software. And so what the graph did was created a standard for reading blockchains, to boil it down. So traditional databases are slow. Many database technology has been around for over 30 years. They weren't really built for a transaction-heavy world that we have today. They're inflexible. They were designed to be general purpose, not for blockchain transactions. They're unscalable, so no native support for AI or blockchain interoperability. Many solutions today, and even here at the conference and this week talking to different teams, they take off-the-shelf solutions, pull them together, use different tools and whatnot to try to stitch together something that kind of works. And so it's a struggle to get consistent and reliable data across blockchains with current solutions. So with that, I'm happy to introduce what we have been hard at work over the last couple years. It's called AMP, the world's first blockchain native database. And so we, over the last few years, we sort of went to square one and we said, if we were going to rebuild something today, taking what we've learned over the years, building something from scratch, from first principles, what would we build for knowing what the future is coming? And that is AMP. I'm happy to share it with you. Let's get into the features really quick. It brings verifiably extracted data with end-to-end lineage. So that's really important because especially for enterprises and different financial use cases, you want to ensure that the data you have in your database matches what's on the blockchain. It's very challenging to do. We're able to offer those proofs, and you might ask how we do that. Well, we use math. Tough crowd. All right. Next, multi-chain access, rapid chain addition. This is also a big use demand. There's so many chains today. The number of chains is always increasing. More transactions are happening on different chains, and so we have the ability to add new chains as they come along very easily. We can offer composable data sets, so we can use them like Lego blocks, and you can stitch together views from different sources and pull them together into one materialized view. We can deliver the data to meet the needs of where the user demands it. So SQL, REST, GraphQL, we can dump into Snowflake, Kafka, for example, for analytics use cases. So we meet you where you are in terms of how you need the data. And just real quick into the technical architecture without getting too technical. It's available locally, on-premise, or in cloud. So that's also a unique feature. Running in local environments is something that we're proud of, and that is a demand in the enterprise side of the world. Offers compliance and data sovereignty with no access to logs or query data. It can be run behind a firewall and integrated with identity management systems. And it integrates with business intelligence tools, enterprise data warehouses, and data lakes. So it's highly interoperable. And super accurate handling events in real time with built-in reorg handling, which is a challenge with blockchains. In terms of use cases, for compliance needs on the enterprise side, analytics use cases, for audit trails. And real quick with some initial benchmarking we've done, some of these numbers took us by surprise, and we had to triple check them. So it was over 2 times more storage efficient than other full node databases, almost 6 times faster than BigQuery on public data sets, 100 times faster than other competitors in terms of data freshness. So that would be like 1 second versus 100 seconds. So 1 second, your data's there with AMP, where you'd be waiting almost 2 minutes for your data to load. This one kind of caught us by surprise. Over 4,000 times faster backfills compared to other traditional RPC endpoints. And AMP processes 4 million events per second, fetching and filtering from blockchain logs. So pretty remarkable numbers. So that is AMP. Real-time, verifiable, secure, and compliant enterprise scale on-chain data. So you might ask how AMP fits into the Graph's long-term vision. So we view it as a new data system that aims to strengthen the ecosystem. What this could mean for the network, more workloads, higher value queries, ecosystem expansion. Subgraphs were sort of for a specific use case, the developer use case. It provided an API and a GraphQL API endpoint. So what AMP does is it expands that total addressable market into enterprise use cases, analytics, and so it's a much larger pool of people looking for that data, and we view it as the backbone of the sort of graph 2.0 of the network. And that is AMP. All right. But wait, there is more. Just one more thing. So along the way, we identified other opportunities that we're suited to solve. For the agentic economy to flourish, it needs better infrastructure. And so this came out in A16Z's State of Crypto report recently. This is a big number, but Gartner estimated by 2030, there'll be 30 trillion in purchases that will be made or influenced by AI agents. So what happens when every person and every company has swarms of agents operating on their behalf? So this year, there were about 41 million mobile wallets, up 20%. By 2030, we may have 1 billion agent wallets. You know, if you take this number, grow it exponentially, each of us has dozens of agents doing specific, minute tasks. This number is going to explode, right? And all of these agents need wallets. And so how do we manage that future that we all know is coming? So to accelerate the growth of agentic economies, several agentic standards have emerged. You may have heard of these. Google developed an A2A protocol that enables agent-to-agent communication. ERC 8004 emerged recently. That is for kind of a decentralized open source form of reputation for agents. And Coinbase, of course, came out with X402 that kind of kicked off this whole race. And it's a protocol that defines ways in which agents can transact and pay each other. So we've contributed to all of these standards, and for those that are more technically inclined, we developed a deferred payment scheme that is to be included into the X402 standard that allows for batching of micropayments and allows for a much higher throughput than what is in the X402 standard. So we're happy to be contributors and actively involved in the development of the space because we see it as being integral to how we interact and do commerce in the future. And so what is the problem that exists in the space right now? Agents are multiplying, payments aren't. There's no visibility into agent-to-agent spend. There's no means of control for budgets, alerts, policy, etc. There's no provable records tied to outcomes. And there's no way to identify or verify agents. And so with that, we're happy to introduce Ampersend. And it's a wallet for agents and a dashboard for humans. So Ampersend is a management platform for agent payments and operations. Ampersend enables wallet creation, so agent wallets that integrate with A2A and MCP as the current standards, but as new standards come online, we'll integrate with those too. Action automation, full visibility, so real-time dashboards of agent payments and flows. Action controls for enterprise, compliance, reporting, and accounting. And so agents transact in stablecoins over X402, while Ampersend manages the life cycles of those funds. Real quickly into the technical architecture. You can manage and spend earnings and automate flows all in one place. It's built on Coinbase X402, of course. And the deferred payment scheme that I mentioned earlier will be embedded as soon as that comes online. We're part of the creation of standards here. And this is a preview of what Ampersend looks like. You can view this is like the dashboard view where you can see like your different agent wallet accounts and view their spending. And this is the actual agent view where you can dig in and view the actual transactions. You could the analogy I give is that you think of each agent as sort of like a teenager and you're giving them an unlimited credit card. And so this would be like giving them a credit card with spending limits. And so you can only spend this amount per transaction and this amount per day. And let me see what you're doing. And this is the beauty of where blockchain and Web3 and crypto meet AI. It's the perfect use case because the visibility of blockchain data and that it's observable is what makes this possible. It doesn't go into like a black hole in like the Visa network or Stripe. This is all on-chain and visible for everyone to see. So it allows for the ability to manage and control this. And so Ampersend.ai, we are turning this on Thursday. You can visit the URL now and sign up for early access, but we will be making it available this week. So what's coming next? Like I showed, the dashboard view is coming this week. You'll be able to manage the deferred payment scheme, which is coming as soon as that gets rolled into the X402 standard. We're going to add reputation and identity management, also when the 8004 standard comes online. And so with agents, it's important to know that who you're dealing with is legitimate. And so there'll be an ability to sort of create kind of a score and get feedback. And you can, the agent will use that to determine who they want to interact with and whether they're a valid agent on the other side. And we have all that transaction history that goes along with it. We'll be adding more detailed charts and analytics and more chain support. As mentioned earlier, chains are being added all the time. So to wrap it all up, the devs have been doing something. We've been really busy. We've been building, and we're bringing 2 new industry-defining standards to the market. So it's a really exciting time at the Graph. Like I said, we're so back, and thank you very much for your time. And just want to mention that so we have a technical talk tomorrow given by our CTO, or I think it's Wednesday. I can't remember what day it is. And then I will be speaking on Thursday at Pragma. And Friday, there's a Trustless Agents Day. I'll be speaking there as well. And as I mentioned, we'll be turning Ampersend on this week, so you can play around with it. And AMP, we are also turning that on for a developer preview. We'll be here this weekend for the hackathon, so developers can go and start building with AMP. And here's my contact info, and happy to connect with any of you. And you can scan the QR codes for updates. All right, thank you so much for your time today.